getting a little echo here. Hang on one second. Let me just figure out what's going on. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Yeah, I still feel
Still
like I got an
echo.
echo going.
Yeah, it's coming through your speaker on your computer.
Oh, hang on one second, guys. Let's see. How about now? Yes.
Still echo.
You'll have to turn that.
It's your computer.
Bear with me a second. Okay, I'll keep it moving. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to WealthyU Wind Down. This echo should go down in just a moment. Welcome. We're going to give folks a few minutes to get on in here. Still got an echo, though.
No, not really.
Yeah, can you guys hear me? You got it. Do I still have an echo? Not, team. Yes or no? Echo?
Yes, you still have an echo.
Yeah, I still hear an echo, honey. Okay. All right. Well, I may have to turn this other audio off, honey. It's an echo, sweetheart. That has to come off.
Sweetie, I don't hear it. Just
Everyone else does. Okay. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to WealthyU Wind Down. You guys still do hear an echo, right? No?
It's
Okay.
not
Well,
much
we'll
of an
keep
echo.
going.
You're okay,
What's
Deb.
that?
It's not much of an echo. You're okay. I think you're
Okay,
fine.
excellent. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to WealthyU Wind Down. Come on in here. It is it's not quite the first of the month, but one of the things we're excited about is we have so much going on in WealthyU right now that we are going to be bringing you weekly WealthyU Wind Down. So if you feel like WealthyU weekly, WealthyU Wind Down Wednesdays are in order for 2024, give me a thumbs up or in the chat. One of the things I really want to talk about going into this year, not only do we have a lot going on, I'll talk about that in just a moment, of course, but what I do want everyone to understand is one of the things we learned through COVID was how important it is to count the wins. And in WealthyU, so many, and by the way, okay, see, I got to tell y'all, turn on your cameras now. Turn on your cameras. I see my good girlfriend, Jean Escarpeta. It's good to see Saphonia in the house. Hello, Saphonia. Who else is? So in the chat, before I even get started, for those of you, if you're new to WealthyU Wind Down, or if you're not new to WealthyU Wind Down, put your name in the chat and let me know who you are so I can give you a shout out. So come on in here. I see somebody has their wine meme and their wine glass on. So WealthyU Wind Down is really about us coming together, we're changing the name of WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday the day to WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday. Because one of the things that I realized is coming out of COVID, WealthyU had so much growth, and most of that growth was as a result of us coming together as a community. Because prior to COVID, so much of WealthyU, the members in WealthyU were my private coaching clients. And so you never really came together. And as a result of COVID and everybody panicking, how many of you were here when I came on every night for if you were here every night when we came on for 21 days straight, in the chat, let me know if you were hanging with me then, if you were there, so I can give you a shout out. So let's see. We've got Leslie Hamilton from Maryland, Stephanie from Ohio. That's where we get our pound cakes from, just so that you guys know. Yes, and let's see, Helen is in Virginia. Helen, I think I just met Helen too. Helen, I saw that 707 code and I thought you must be from the Bay Area, are you? Yeah, that's what I thought. And so, welcome, Helen. I said I had a chat with her today. I said, girl, come on in here and join us for Wealthy You Wind Down Wednesday. So, what I'm excited about is one of the things that you're going to see us do more of is really share the wins that many of the women in Wealthy You are having. We have women in here who have, oh, my girl, Ashley's even here. Ashley, we got women building homes, renovating. We've got women buying their first, second homes. We've got women who are building, which I'm really excited about, building alternative dwelling units in California in their homes. We have women making their first venture capital investments. We have women making their first crowdfunding investments. And what I want to make sure that we do is that we make Wealthy You Wind Down Wednesday about you and the successes that you are having. And so I would be remiss if I didn't start out with the Wealthy You Wind Down, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So if you've got your own beverage, whether it's water or whatever, I want to give a toast to this community. And I want to make sure that every week we're celebrating your wins. And with that, oh, let me just tell you what I'm drinking tonight. This is a new wine, actually, my husband found. I was like, oh, what is that? It is my favorite. Sharice is laughing at me. It is my favorite. They know I would say Cabernet Sauvignon. And it is from one of my favorite places in the wine country, Paso Robles. But you know what? I don't see the bottle, so I can't tell you what it is. So I'll hold that for later. So a toast to all of you. But now I want to get into it. Y'all ready to get into it? I want to get into it because if you guys have been, how many of you have seen our Facebook ads? If you seen our Facebook ads, put yes in the chat. And by the way, ladies, I don't care how y'all looking. I dressed up. You don't have to. But turn on those cameras so I can see you and you can give me energy. So if you've seen our Facebook ad, so Tracy says yes, Sharice says yes, Stephanie says yes. Let me tell you why it's so important. So if you haven't seen that Facebook ad, in just a minute, I'm going to show that Facebook ad. And I want all of you to understand why the clip from that ad is so important. So it's a Facebook ad. And we're marketing the challenge, but in the Facebook ad, what I'm talking about and why, and by the way, it's been our first best performing Facebook ad by far of any. And who would rather me show you rather than tell you? Rather me show you rather than tell you. So hold on, I'm going to put myself in speaker mode and I'm going to pin myself, okay? And then I'm going to bring it up. The other the glaring statistic though, that I think is very important for every woman in this room to understand is that when we look at what assets we hold, women of color are playing not to lose rather than playing to win. Now, what do I mean by that? The fact is that we are risk. Hold on, I just have to see. Why aren't you guys seeing this video?
Are you broadcasting eCam?
What's that?
Are you broadcasting eCam or are you broadcasting Zoom?
No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't have to. I'm telling you, sometimes the technology, it just won't let you be great. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to explain to you what that video is all about, what that And I'm even still getting an echo too. Um, I want to explain to you. I was at a conference, and I was asked to give the landscape of investing in wealth for women of color. And after coaching thousands of you, what has become really, really clear, for me anyway, is that far too many women of color are playing not to lose rather than playing to win. And so what do you think I mean by that? The point I was making is it's what the statistics show. Because never been exposed to investments, and because we never had anyone ever teach us, what has happened is, because of the changes in the landscape in terms of how we are now almost forced to have to invest our dollars, right? So we're forced to have to invest our dollars because we have these things called 401ks, 403bs. And in our predecessors, our parents, they worked for years, and many of them got pensions, and they had never had to worry about how to invest their dollars. So here we come along, and now we're responsible for making those choices about our investments. But as we went through school and matriculated into higher education, whether it be to get our bachelor's, whether it's to get our master's, unfortunately, we were never taught how to be able to manage that money. So I've got a question for you in the chat. Let me know. How many of you actually had a class during your formal education that actually taught you about how to invest? Anybody? In the chat, if anyone went to a class and was taught how the financial markets work, how to analyze and research, yes or no? That's good. So let's see. Stephanie says no. Yes or no, if you were taught that. And so as a result of that, so let's see. Tracy says no. Ashley says no. Leslie says no. Helen says no. Here's what I discovered after being in that investment industry for so long and watching how high net worth families operated. The fact is that many of them had benefited from intergenerational wealth, right? Meaning that when they turned 18, there was a private banker, and that private banker, or 21, that private banker would have a meeting with them and the family and would talk about the assets that they would inherit, whether they were stocks with dividends and so on, right? And so what I realized is that the knowledge of how to build wealth is inherited, right? Like the knowledge, agree or disagree with me in the chat, guys. Yeah, let's get some participation. The knowledge of how to build wealth is inherited. So if no one in your family knew how, so Tracy says she's agreed, Stephanie agreed, right? So if no one in your family didn't know how, you didn't know how either, right? And so as a result, when we're when we're presented with opportunities about how to manage our money. And in fact, it's so interesting because I had a conversation with someone about this very, very situation today. And it's that when somebody introduces this idea to us about investing, and if this has ever happened to you, let me know. And they say things like, well, if you invest in this, you're not going to lose your money because, the stock market could go down. But if the stock market goes up, you may not get as much, but at least your money would be safe. And that makes you feel like, yeah, that's the investment for me. If that's you, put yes in the chat, right? So your investment advisor says to you, you can invest in this, your money won't go down, right? You won't lose money, and you could gain some. Does that make you feel good? Right? Would you, Denitra says not anymore. But I'm even saying for those of you who are in Wealthy You in the past, right? Like I want you to think about in the past, would that have been something that you would say, yes, I want to put my money in that? And the reason I say that is because if you look at the statistics, Helen says yes, right? Stephanie says in the past. Jean says yes. Tanya says yes. So the point that I'm making is the result of that is if you look at where our assets are held, I want you guys to get this number. 60% of households headed, and many are headed by women of color, own no stock investments. Zip, zero. And like 5 years ago, that number was 65%. So a recent study came out and said that now 40% of not just women-owned household, but minority households now own stocks. So it is rising. But would agree or disagree with me that that 60% is a big number? Would you agree with that? Now I want you to think about the fact that, so if we just look at the market last year is up about 30%. Right now we're about to hit Dow 40,000 almost. What do you think the implications of not owning stock are if you don't own stock? So is your portfolio going up in value? Are you participating in that or not? Right? So that's all I want you to understand is this. Many of you. Is that you're playing not to lose. You're already losing. Do you guys get this? Like, that's what I want you to understand. While you're playing not to lose, you're already losing. So let me ask you guys a question. So it's the beginning of the year. I want to bring some folks up tonight. So what do you hope to achieve? Like, you came to WealthyU Wind Down for a reason. And part of the reason is that you have a desire to learn more, hopefully to earn more, and hopefully to build more wealth. So who wants to raise their hand? Who's willing to come up and share what perhaps is your win today, right? Who's willing to share some of their wins in WealthyU? Because that's what I want this to be about. It's been, a couple of years for many of you, and I'd like for you to share actually what some of your wins are. Whether it's you invested in your first property, whether you've hit your first six figures or multiple six figures, whatever that win is, I want you to share it. All right. Let's see some more hands up. But right now, I want to have Miss Stephanie unmute and share her wins. So what's your wins, Steph, you want to share with us?
I was so excited when I looked at my stash stock today. I told my husband, I said, come and look at this. Because before I joined WealthyU, I was one of that 60%. I did not own any stock except for what was in our 401k. And so now I have a portfolio of stock, and it is growing. This was the biggest growth that I've had since I started the investing in the stock. And so I was just so excited. And just, maybe about a month ago when I was at the strategic advisory, and I'm like, Deborah, what it's going down. What should I do? And I was scared because you was like, I said, I feel like I'm losing money. And you said, you're not losing if you don't sell. So I held on, and now it's like it's growing. So it was hard watching that. But now seeing the growth, all that green on there looks good.
That's right. Thank you, Stephanie. And the reason, Stephanie, I love Stephanie. Thank you so much for sharing that stuff. The reason it just so if you guys just could see the transformation of Stephanie that we've seen in this community, and I think she would agree. When she came into Wealthy U, I won't say she was a skeptic, but I will say, I will say that it just really took her some time to embrace risk and now to see the confidence, the fact that your not only has your knowledge expanded, but also has your wealth strategy has expanded as well. And so I'm so proud of you, Stephanie. Okay, so we can't leave Stephanie hanging. Who's gonna step up and talk about their wins? Come on, ladies. I see many of you in here who've had some incredible wins. Now, this I know, but I'm not going to do what I would do if we were in strategic advisory. I would call you up, but because we're not with just family, I'm going to allow you to say. So, either way, we could talk about wins or we can talk about what your goals are for the year. So, who else wants to step up?
Tracy.
Okay, let's go to Tracy Clark. Tracy, it's so good to see you back in the cut.
I
Awesome. So, what do you want to share with us?
well, I have a win. I have a goal. So my win since I started my portfolio has hit six figures. Um, and it started in the very low five digit. So I've been really good with that. The fear
So,
is
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you, Tracy.
you
She's
did it?
on mute.
Okay.
Can you turn your
I am
volume
now.
down?
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay. I have years, and when I started with you many years ago, can you hear me okay now? Okay. When I started with you many years ago, I was in the low five digits. And I wasn't investing very much. I wasn't maximizing. You told me I needed to do a whole lot better, and I did. Created my vision board. I've changed that several times since then. And my goal this year is I'm like trying to find some side hustles, and that before I was just narrow-minded and thinking I just wanted to stay within healthcare. And I'm like, I don't care where I go now and find these side hustles. And that is going to be my money that is going to go straight into my investments. And I'm trying to make sure, figure out a way that I can live on maybe 40% of my income and let the rest be savings and investing. So that's my 2024 goal. We can't hear you. Or at least I can't.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I really think it's this mic that's weird, but
Yeah, we'll allow you to turn your computer volume down so it's not echoing.
well, if I turn my so can you guys still hear me? Yes? Okay, maybe that was it, huh? Okay, very good. You see Mr. Owens keeping me straight, y'all. As it should be. Well, the interesting thing, I love giving backstories. So what I love about this community is Tracy was a private coaching client with me many years ago, came back, and now it's just so, you stuck with it, and it's just so wonderful to see that progress. So thank you for sharing, Tracy, from low five to now six. That's fantastic. Anybody else want to share their goals? Don't be don't be shy. Wins or goals for this year, and you can also put it in the chat. That's funny. I was talking about Stephanie, and she said, "Yeah, I was scared and intimidated, but look at you now." All right, I love it, Sophonia. You must have felt my eyes on you, girl.
Absolutely. So my win
Ex-
is I've decided to really lean in this year and attend the stock and the mutual fund reviews. In the past, I've just been too busy and just pulled in a lot of different directions. And just me being in for the last 2 weeks, I've definitely seen an improvement in my personal portfolio because I went in and I revised everything. So I'm just proud of myself that I'm leaning in a little bit more this year and actually executing. Like you said, execution is a big thing. So
Get it, girl. I love it, Steph. I mean, I love it, Sophonia. It really is. The other thing that I see in Wealthy You is that the women that get the further, the fastest, it's all about execution. All right. Love it, Sophonia. So far, who wants to step up next? Just a couple more. I would love to hear from you. And then I want to give you guys a little heads up on what's coming next in Wealthy You. All right, Miss Jean Escarpeta. Hey, girlfriend.
Hi. Um, I just today went through my portfolio and I was proud that I was consistently putting money toward into my brokerage account. And periodically I would go and buy some shares of stock. So now I have like 18 different stocks in my portfolio. I was looking at them today to see how they were doing. And of the 18, um, 12 of them are up.
Wow, that is
And yeah,
awesome.
and so I'm gonna take a look at the ones that are down. And I mean, some of them were down, but they weren't down by that much. So I don't, I think I need to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of how much I put out to buy stock, like I buy a share, 2 shares. I think I need to get a little bit more aggressive about it.
All right, I love it, Jean. You know I love the word aggressive, right? Because
Yeah.
that's how we do better. Excellent. Anybody else want to share? Any other wins? One more. Okay, I see. Oh, see my good girlfriend, Denitra. She like, I know she didn't call on me, so this time I'm gonna step up. I love it. Hey,
Hello,
Denitra.
hello. I want to say that I have a win for me.
Okay.
I finally opened up a stash account. And so I have already participated in two of the stash parties.
I love it.
I have money reoccurring going in. I have money in my personal and the smart portfolios. And I'm still learning about it, but I did it. So I'm happy about that. And then my retirement fund is going up, up and up and up. So I'm happy about that too.
Excellent. Win,
Yeah.
win, win. All we do is win. I love that. So that's what Wealthy You Wind Down Wednesday is about. I'm so proud of just the amount that you are all leaning in and you see it's paying off. You know, I was speaking with a young lady today. I'm not going to call her out, but I was just sharing with I was trying to explain to her what Wealthy You was like. And so I said, "Oh, well, you know what? We're having Wealthy You Wind Down Wednesday. Why don't you join us tonight?" Cuz she was like, "This just sounds too good to be true." And I thought, yeah, you know, what fun it is to have fun, drink wine, and build wealth. It doesn't get any better than that. Would you guys agree with that?
We've got one more hand up.
Okay, excellent. Uh-oh. Let me call on somebody else whose hand is up and has my wine glass and wine bottle with it. I'm going to unmute you. WG.
It's Deborah. It's me, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy girl, what you up high behind that picture? How are you?
because girl, I'm in my room that needs to be reconstructed. So anyway, I'm doing well, and I want to share my wins as this. As you know, when we first met, you asked me what was my why, and I always said my children. So I'm glad to say they both have graduated. One from Towson, one from Morgan, debt free like I wanted. I paid cash. So now that I have the potential raise in my income, most that's going to go to our retirement fund right now. So the boy just finished in December, so I'm trying to just get used to a few pay free and the free checks, no payment for a minute. And after I enjoyed that, probably till end of February, then we're going to start allocating much more money to our retirement fund. So that's my
I
win.
That's girl, that's a win win win,
I'm no
right?
longer
Win win
I'm no
win.
longer
All we do is
scared.
win. I love it. Wendy, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And that's what I want Wealthy You Wind Down Wednesday to really be about. What I want all of you to understand is we did a lot of strategic planning this year, just talking about the growth of Wealthy You and the next level. So what I want you guys to all, how many of you are ready to go to the next level? If you're ready to go to the next level, put next level in the chat. Because I think, when I talk about wins, so Concetta is so good to see you. Next level. See, they think they're out, but they come back in. Um, what I want you to know is what's been really, really clear to me in just watching many of the members in Wealthy You and their progression and their ascension. So one of the things in WealthyU, we kind of meet you where you are. We have innovated. We've changed our program. Many of you may not know, but I wrote my most recent book, Wealth Secrets. And that book I'm very proud of because Wealth Secrets is actually stories of women like Sophia and their transformation in Wealthy You, and Belinda, and a number of different women in this community were willing to share, right, and be transparent about their lack of knowledge. Once they gained that knowledge and applied that knowledge and executed on that knowledge, the impact that it had not only on them but on their families as well. Right? So what I want you to know is that in Wealthy You, yes, I want to talk about your wins. I want to talk about the fact that your portfolios went up, but the most important thing, the most valuable asset that we deliver on in Wealthy You is what we give you is the knowledge of how to build wealth. And that's the most valuable asset of all. Who agree or disagree with me, y'all? Agree or disagree with me? That the knowledge that you gain in Wealthy You, that is the valuable asset, right? And that also is something that's priceless because no one can ever take that away from you, right? And so if that's being true, why I need your buy-in on Wealthy You Wind Down Wednesday, because what I want to be able to do is amplify the actual result of the knowledge that women, when applied, are getting in Wealthy You. So I want to enroll all of you in this vision and help you to understand the why behind why we make changes. So what really became clear to me as well is that the reason why Wealthy You Wind Down Wednesday is important is because it's important for us to come together, not just about doing the thing, right? So in Wealthy You, every week we got training going on. We've got analyzing and researching stocks, we got analyzing and researching mutual funds. We got learning how to open a brokerage account. We have all of these things, but I don't want us to lose sight of the most important thing, and that is community. And that is what I think I and the team have learned, right, about community. And so what I know to be true is that if we're going to execute on the mission of helping 1 million women get to $1 million in investable assets, not because of the money, right? But the ability to create, and I want you guys to do this because this is a major shift and just how I'm thinking about Wealthy You, it's legacy wealth, right? It's legacy wealth, but it's intergenerational wealth, because what I want us to be able to pass on is not only the wealth, but the knowledge of how to build it. You guys got me? Because you see, here's what became very clear to me. It's like we could build wealth in a generation, but it can also be lost in a generation, right? So how many of you, I don't know, I wrote this post on LinkedIn about Taraji Henson, right? So did you guys see that kind of thing? Taraji was saying how she made all this money, but she have $1 million at the end of the year, she barely end up with 100,000. And in my mind, from my vantage point, I thought, oh, that's why she's not structured properly. She needs to be in Legacy Wealth Accelerator, where we talk about tax advantage strategies and how she should have been an LLC. That money should not have been coming to her, blah, blah, blah. So this is how I'm thinking. And so that's why I want you to understand, what you have to begin to understand is you can make a lot of money, but if you don't have the knowledge of how to keep it, right? So we know how to earn it, but we got to learn how to keep it and how to grow it. So what you're going to hear us talk a lot about in Wealthy You is legacy. All right. So when the book Wealth Secrets, how many of you have had the book Wealth Secrets? How many of you have read the book? Raise your hand if you haven't. I want you to run out and get it. No, actually, I'm going to show you how you can get it if you haven't. We have a VIP. We have a challenge coming up, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. So I just want you to know the reason why we're talking about legacy is that's how I want to go next level. I want to elevate the conversation that we're having. And that conversation means that we're not just thinking about today, right? Or what we can gain. What I want all of you to understand is that I need you to pass this knowledge on to your children, to your offspring, to your nieces, to your nephews, to your aunts, to your uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to understand that we have a responsibility, and that responsibility is to our families and to our community. So I want us to think a little bigger about legacy and about not only what you're learning and internalizing, but you're able to pay that forward. Is this making sense to you? And so one of the ways when I talk about community, right, that when we do strategy in Wealthy You, we think about, well, how can we get more people to come? And so one of the ways that you do that is we have events, right? So we have our Get Wealthy Challenge. And so I want to talk about that just a moment. And team, I want you to put that link in the chat. And so starting Monday, we start our 3-day Get Wealthy Challenge. But Sunday night, we come on and we get ready, right? Because we're not going to be getting ready to get ready. We're going to already be ready. And so one of the things I want to encourage all of you to do is who's committed. If you're committed to just inviting 2 people in the Get Wealthy Challenge, to the 3-day Get Wealthy Challenge, would you commit in the chat? Just put 2. If you commit to inviting 2 people to the Get Wealthy Challenge, because one of the things I tell the team is, and even in our community, like, do you ever feel this way? Like, you're learning this stuff and you're so excited and you want everybody else, and people be, all you talk about is get wealthy, wealthy you. That's all you talk about is stock and money. And your circle, they're like, is that all you got to talk about all the time? If you can relate to that, put yes in the chat. Love it, love it, love it, Denitra. Like, so one of the things I tell the team is like, it's like church. Right? Like, you find your church, you want everybody to come, and you inviting everybody, and they like, Lord, here she come again. They run away. It's like evangelist. So like our pastor said, listen, don't hound people, just invite them, let them come in, let them see what it's about, right? So that's all I want to encourage you to help us grow. I simply want us to get more people in the room. Right. So in the chat, we've put the Get Wealthy Challenge link. Please put that in the chat, y'all. And I click that link and join. Right. Join. And then I want you to copy that link so that you can and I'm going to tell you, the best thing to do is just text it to people. Ain't nobody looking at emails anymore. Right. Just, hey, girl, Listen, y'all, you know, we're doing this challenge. You want to get your money right here. Just join this challenge. That's all I'm asking you to do. Okay, now, the other thing I want to say as well is that for those of you who haven't joined the chat, now this is not for our members. This is all I want to tell you. Do not buy this kit because you already have it. I don't want you getting mad at me, talking about I want a refund. But we do, for those of you who want to spend some extra time with me before, during every day of the challenge, we also have a VIP kit. So if you go to that Get Wealthy Challenge and you join, you're going to be asked to get the VIP kit. But if you haven't got it, let's put that link in the chat too. What the VIP kit does is it gives you access to my new book, Wealth Secrets. It also gives you access to the audiobook. It gives you access to the ebook. And it gives you access to one of our webinars, just explaining mindset strategy and what our framework is about. And in addition to that, every night on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night of next week, you come in a little earlier at 7:30, and I'm going to share with you how to apply the concepts that you are learning. So our VIP Success Kit is really about you going deeper. And so if you want to go deeper, that kit, okay, we need a different link because I think that's that Facebook link, but we'll see. Facebook is following us all around. So I want you to know that our 3-day Get Wealthy challenges, all our events are designed to help us achieve our goal of helping, and you would agree. So when I say 1 million women, people are looking, 1 million women, that number is so big. It needs to be big. Agree? In the chat, it needs to be big. If 60% of our households do not own any stock, do you think that getting 1 million people is only going to put a little dent in it? But I believe it will do our part. You agree? And the only way that we can do that is through community, and we need you inviting people to WealthyU. Now, you don't just have to invite them to WealthyU for the challenge. Just invite them to join our free WealthyU community. That's one of the other ways that they can then get involved. You know, every day in our WealthyU community, we're sharing information, we're sharing insight, and and this is the other thing I want you guys to understand. The next thing we're doing is we're launching a new membership. And that membership is really designed to help change people's mindset, right? And that membership, guess what it's called? WIN. It's called the WealthyU Insider Network because we want to build more winning mindsets. Here, I want you to understand this, you guys. And I want all of you who are in WealthyU to think about what your mindset was like prior to joining WealthyU. Risk averse, playing not to lose, not to win. Here's what I want you to understand. So much of what I've learned in the WealthyU community is the importance of mindset. What I want you guys to all understand is that we have been programmed to be fearful. We've been programmed to not take risk, but that risk is directly correlated to our lack of knowledge and ignorance, right? Agree or disagree with me, right? So if you look at all of the people that talked about their wins tonight, and many of you even who didn't, and how your mindset has changed. You have went from that earner mindset to that owner mindset or that wealth mindset. And what the wealth mindset, the thing is, the first thing I learned in terms of being with very wealthy people was this, is that wealthy people think differently. They do the opposite of what everyone else does, and that's what allows them to get in a different place. They look at downturns as opportunities. And in order to do that, you've got to have a wealth mindset. So I often tell you in this community that there is possibility in volatility. And so in WealthyU, we welcome that. And, I love the fact that Stephanie said, yeah, I was talking to Miss Deb and I was talking about my, my investments were going down. And I said to her, well, you need to buy more. Right? And look at her now. Are y'all with me? Everything is up. Everything is winning. But what I want you to know is that in order to win, you've got to be willing to take some losses. Are y'all with me? Okay. I mean, in order to win, you've got to be willing to lose. And because losing is temporary, that's all I want you to understand. It's a state of mind. It's a moment in time. So the other valuable asset of community is being in a community of women with that wealthy winner's mindset. I want y'all to win more than I want to win. Do you guys understand this? I want you to win more than I want to win because I want it more for you probably than you want it for you. But the reason that that's important is because the conversation is different when you're sitting with winners. Do you guys understand that? Like, the reason you need to be here on WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday is not the insight or any of that, is that you need to be in community with like-minded women, right? Because that is the fuel that is going to allow you to move in spite of the opposition. Listen, I coach a lot of you, and I know that every day you're going into workplaces that do not value you. You're dealing with microaggressions. Some of you have been sitting in the same role for far too long, and the first thing I say to you is, girl, you got to get moving. And so the reason it's important for you to be in this community is because when you're met with that opposition, you're going to see it for exactly what it is, an opportunity. So that's what I want you to get is opposition is opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to make another choice. But the reason why it's important for you to be in this community and to develop a winner's mindset is because then you will see things as they truly are. And that is that you never lose. You either win or you learn. Is this making sense to you? If this is making sense to you, put yes in the chat. I want you to understand the significance of that. The significance of that is if you can go into any situation with a spirit of curiosity, knowing that you cannot lose because you're going to gain something of value from it. Are y'all with me? This is how we win. This is how we win. And so what I want you to know is that in WealthyU, this year we're going higher. The conversation is going to be about legacy wealth. It's going to be about intergenerational wealth. We're going to be exposing you to folks who have went further and farther so that you know that it's possible for you. We have an event coming up on April 6th, the Legacy Wealth Blueprint event. If you're on our mailing list, all of you got one of them, right? You are on notice. It's posted in the community. There's early bird specials for those of you who are already members. There's opportunities for you as well. And the reason this event is important is because of community. For many of you, we've been through COVID. I haven't even met many of you, and I haven't met many of my team members in person, right? So we need to be here. We need to be here. We need to do all of this for community. And so what I want you to know is that if you are willing to lock arms with us, for those of you who are not in our programs, you need to make sure that you connect with our ambassadors. Our Legacy Wealth Blueprint event is a 3-day event. It's at the National Harbor Westin. Friday is a reception where we're gonna fellowship with not all another. Saturday is designed for you to create your legacy wealth blueprint. You're going to be hearing from some dynamite speakers about estate planning, real estate investing. Really, that event is really designed for tax advantage wealth strategies. That's what we're going to be talking about. And then that Sunday, we're going to leave with a brunch. And we're going to have our marching orders for the rest of the year. So, but that's not everything. I'm not going to bring it out, but just know that we are with you. We want you to go higher. We want you to be winners. Every one of you is a winner. And I want you to have a winning mindset. I don't want you to settle, right? Like a lot of you, here's what I know to be true, and I'm going to leave it at this. A lot of you are in a circle and you're the smartest one in the room. Are y'all with me? You're the smartest one in the room. You're the leader. You're the one that everybody looks to. Now, what the significance of that and the problem with that is you don't grow. You know, I just came back from spending 4 days with my mastermind, Lamar Tyler and Ronnie Tyler. They are two of the most amazing people. And I was with probably 1,000 other entrepreneurs, 6, 7, 8 figures. I saw somebody go from 7 to 8 figures in 2 years. Is that amazing? So what I want you to know is that that's why I need to go. I need to be in that room with other people who are doing bigger things than I'm doing, because then that lets me know that that million dream that I'm looking at, they're like, girl, that ain't nothing. Now here's the plan. This is what you need to do right here. Now you go down back there, Deb, and you execute. And I just nod my head and I'm like, if you can do it, I can do it. If you can do it, I can do it, right? And so then I come back to you, and that is the win. Right? That's what you need to do. And so I want you to know that this is, right? This is the community where you're going to win. You're not going to win just for you. You're going to win this for your family and for your community. Because if we can take ownership of our financial success, there are no limits. So I'm ready. In the chat, put no limits. No limits. We have no limits on what we are capable of doing. You just need to make sure that you're in the winning circle with other people with a winning mindset if you want to win. And with that, I know I went a little, oh no, I still got a few minutes. My husband trying to give me the hook. But anyhow, if you shared a win today, one of the other things I'd love for you to do is drop that win in the community, right? Because the other thing we have to do is we have to make these algorithms work in our favor. And so one of the other things you saw us add is we have a full-time social media person who's posting. And I want to make sure that you guys are engaging with our content, that you're sharing your wins, that you're responding, that you're making comments, that you're giving other people the accolades that they deserve, right? Because you know what? I love to see people win. I do. You know, I love seeing people win because that means it's possible for me, right? That's what it means. So in WealthyU, what do we call winners? W stands for you want it, right? The I stands for I am responsible. And the N stands for no excuses. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us this evening for WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday. I'll be right back here on next Wednesday. Let's see, what do we have? Tomorrow night, for those of you who are in WealthyU, there's strategic advisory. If you want me to do my homework, I need y'all to sign up for strategic advisory so that I can prepare for that. For those of you who are in Legacy Wealth Accelerator, there is office hours on Friday starting at 12 o'clock. So again, if you haven't signed up for the 3-day Get Wealthy Challenge, make sure you share that link with others and that you sign up. I know that we're streaming as well. If you want to learn more about WealthyU, you can join our WealthyU community. And with that, I want to say good night and thank you all for joining us on WealthyU Wind Down Wednesday. I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and this is the community where we're going to help 1 million women get to $1 million in investable assets. Good night, everybody.